Here's the deal with those similar sounding words. Those super similar sounding words never appear together in real life. They only appear together for the meme. Okay? It's like, when was the last time you said Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers? Like, when did that ever come up in conversation last? Okay? So I try to stay positive and constructive and creative, but sometimes I see something that just makes me think like, I can't take this anymore. And this is an example of that. I was able to find two of the worst language learning things that you see all the time, and it happened to be in the exact same image back to back on some feed. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what this is, why you see it so often, the subconscious underlying problem that's going on that may be affecting you as a language learner, may not, and most importantly, give a better solution or alternative to this type of thing. Okay, so why is this so bad? What is it, and why is this? Well, the first one is asking us to put a verb in the right tense, all right? So basically, it's like, should you say, I lived with my grandparents growing up, or I used to live with my grandparents growing up? Imagine you were doing that in English, and they said, as a native speaker, someone said, okay, which one's correct, Tony? Is it I lived with my grandparents, or I used to live with my grandparents? Which one's right? I'd be like, as a native speaker, I'm like, both? Is that okay? And no, it's got to, I'm like, what? Like, how is this? I'm learning English. I didn't learn English this way, or Spanish, or any language this way. You going, oh, okay, here's like trick question, smart guy. Like, how is this helpful to someone learning Spanish? All right. I used to live with no, incorrect. It's I lived with my grandparents, preterite tense, like bucko. And you're just like, what? Like, okay. This would be confusing in your native language, much less thinking that somehow that practice is going to make me learn Spanish, okay? I have an alternative to that, which I'll tell you after the second one. Let's look at this wonderful Spider-Man thing. We see it a lot. We go, oh, look, cuánto, cuántas, canto, sing, how many, account, like all of these words that sound similar, okay? That's just like the first one, that's difficulty for the sake of difficulty. That's the common theme here, is that we're seeing difficulty for the sake of difficulty. So I can point my finger, like in Scarface, and say, say hello to the bad guy, like the difficult, look how difficult Spanish is. This is why I'm having so much trouble, because cuánto, cuántos, cuántos, cuánto. Here's the deal. You can find a reason to say that any language is absurdly difficult. We can say, look, Polish has 12 ways to say every number, okay? Yes. Mandarin, you gotta have the right tone, okay. English, there's ways. Here's the deal with those similar sounding words. Those super similar sounding words never appear together in real life. They only appear together for the meme. Okay? It's like, when was the last time you said Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers? Like, when did that ever come up in conversation last? Okay? It's crazy to put them together just so you can say, oh, look how difficult Spanish is. So I'm going to first tell you the alternative to doing that, and then I'm going to talk about subconsciously the bigger problem of why that's happening, why teachers do it, and why language learners go along with it. The alternative to this is to take whatever exercise you're trying to do, whatever grammar, whatever vocab, turn it into the form of a question and an answer, like surprise, like you would, if you know what I talk about, you would guess that that's what I would say, okay? So instead of trying to go, I used to live with my I lived with my grandparents, the question should be, okay, here's your question, where did you grow up? Like, or who'd you live with growing up, or something like that, okay? And then the person has to actually go, oh, yo viví con mis abuelos cuando crecía. Or like, yo viví, okay, ¿y tú? And where? ¿Dónde? ¿Dónde tú creciste? Where'd you grow up? And so on. Turn the exercise into questions and answers so that we can share real information, like actually communicate, practice speaking, okay? In the Spider-Man one, you can take a word like canto, I sing, turn it into a question. Do you sing? ¿Cantas? Do you sing well? ¿Cantas bien? And I have to go, sí, canto un poquito. ¿Y tú cantas? What about you play the guitar? ¿Tocas la guitarra? Why can't we just practice exchanging information and then let whatever is similar or dissimilar just come up as it comes up? We can create conversation, kind of like, this is the art of the teacher, can create conversation that highlights certain things, but we don't need to just go, okay, let's do this crazy thing. I believe that difficulty for the sake of difficulty is somehow like subconsciously a thing that language learners sometimes do to justify their lack of progress. If the patterns of language are easy, which they are, then the onus is on me to make something happen, like just read that novel or make those friends or take that trip and order for the table. You know what I mean? Like actually perform, like do something with the language. But if the language is hard in my mind and I can justify to myself and everyone else that the language is so hard, well, then I can say, well, hey, of course, look, I mean, of course I have lack of progress. Like, look how hard the language is. Like, don't you see? It's so hard, okay? I want to once and for all take away the idea that language learning must be so hard. It's not that hard. And look, I would like be gaining more like ego if I could tell you it was hard. You understand? Like, I could be like, yeah, language learning is mad hard, but like, I was able to do it and and you were too, so let's pat each other on the back. No, I'm trying to tell you that it's easy. So in a way, that kind of takes away the pats on the back. Do you ever notice that the better you get at language, the less impressive it is? Like if I could speak 2 or 3 words in Arabic, people go, wow, oh, you speak some Arabic, this is very good, you know? If I can speak Arabic, people are just like, okay, he speaks Arabic. You know, the better you get at it, the less impressive it is. That's just further goes into the point that it's not a difficult thing. Language learning is so easy a child could do it, right? And they do. Quick administrative point, on a Saturday coming up, I'm doing a one-time 5-hour Spanish class for complete beginners designed to get you started better and faster than any other approach. How you begin matters a lot. This is for pre-conversational people. 5 hours, there's only 5 spots available with me on Zoom on a Saturday morning. The link and information is in the description. Also, the free school group is still going strong. You're welcome to join and download LinguaBlock's PDFs. If anything about this video or other videos that I do help you, if you're welcome to subscribe to the channel. You're welcome to like and ask questions in comments. I really like getting comments, and I can make short videos or sometimes even longer videos answering your questions about language learning. And since I don't get to sit in a classroom or in a place with every one of you individually, which I would love to do, this kind of is a good stand-in for that. So thanks for watching this video. I hope it changes your mind on those Spider-Man confusing things and helps propel you forward into real life language practice.